Has a stern message to Oregon school districts. Don't jeopardize the return to the classroom.
And she wrote that in a letter, also saying she's urging them to make sure kids and teachers do mask up or be ready for OSHA to enforce it. All this comes after several school districts in Oregon pushed back on the statewide mask mandate. In her letter, the governor writes, "I have heard much about personal freedom when it comes to masks in school board meetings and on social media. I have not heard as much said about personal responsibility." The governor also calls out the superintendent of the Alsea school district, saying he's urging parents to request an accommodation for their child under the Americans with Disabilities Act so they won't have to wear a mask to school.
So, what's his reason for writing that message? Our Jenny Young directly asked him tonight to find out. What was his response, Jenny?
Jeff, Liz, he said that was taken out of context. His message to parents, he said, had the governor or the State Department of Education called him, he would have explained the context. It says instead he says she just blasted him basically in that letter. And he says they will abide by the mask mandate and they will even provide masks.
It's frustrating for me because she is associating the Alsea School District with districts that either want to defy or not fully implement the mandate, and that is not what I had told parents in the notice or the letter that she's referring to.
Mark Thielman is the superintendent of Alsea schools in Benton County. Last Friday, he sent a letter to the district's families that started out by saying, "The COVID ride just keeps on rolling, but not even the threat of the pandemic can prevent the power of Alsea's school spirit." But what Thielman wrote in the following paragraph got the attention of the governor. In his letter, Thielman explains that many parents reached out to him directly regarding masks in schools, some for, some against.
We had a whole lot more of parents saying anywhere from, if there is no option, withdraw my kid, or what are the options? And so as a superintendent, I need to be responsive to that. And I guess I had the option of not saying anything at all and just letting parents think that there weren't, but there are.
So Thielman outlined in that letter to parents the section of OHA's rule on schools and masks that says schools must comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act, and told families that under ADA, anyone may request a Section 504 accommodation regarding school or workplace requirements. In an open letter to school boards and superintendents today, Governor Brown lambasted leaders challenging the mask mandate. Thielman believes this part in particular was addressed to him. The governor wrote, quote, "I am aware of one district leader who has sent a letter to parents urging them to request an accommodation for their child under the Americans with Disabilities Act to avoid mask requirements. I find it deeply appalling that any education leader who is supposed to be setting an example for our students would send a communication so callous and offensive to Oregon parents and children with disabilities."
The initial reaction is like the superintendent is saying, here's a way for you to cheat the system. Is that what you're doing?
Well, I don't recall saying that in my letter. I didn't encourage students to lie like the governor says in this letter. The thing is, if parents say, what are the options? I'm going to tell them these are the options.
Thielman says he could not agree more with Governor Brown when she said that ADA accommodations are in place for students who truly need them. He says he has a 17-year-old daughter with special needs. All right, so just because a parent applies for one of those accommodations, he says, doesn't mean they'll necessarily get it. Reporting live tonight, Jenny Young, KOIN 6 News.
And then we continue with this topic, Jenny. In a statement tonight, Disability Rights Oregon tells KOIN 6 in part, quote, "When people without disabilities abuse non-discriminational laws and encourage others to falsely claim those protections, they jeopardize the rights of students with disabilities." And you can find their full statement online right now at KOIN.com. Know that we will also continue to follow any updates to this story as it develops.